Before you start your day, before you check your phone, before the worries of yesterday have a chance to enter your mind, take a moment and listen. There are mornings when you wake up feeling hopeful, and there are mornings when you wake up already tired. You may have questions about your future, concerns about your family, pressure at work, financial worries, or a battle inside your heart that nobody else can see. But what if the first thing you gave your attention to this morning was not your problems, but the presence of God? Today, we are going through 5 powerful psalms that can help you begin a new day with faith, peace, strength, and confidence in God. You do not have to have everything figured out before this day begins. You only need to remember who walks with you. And I want you to stay until the end, because the 5th psalm carries a message of hope that you may need more than you realize today. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Let your heart become quiet. And if you are believing God for something specific this morning, leave a simple comment below. You can write, "God, I trust you today." You never know who may read your comment and realize they are not the only person believing and praying. Let us begin with Psalm 5. Psalm 5 is a beautiful prayer for the beginning of a new day because it teaches us to bring our hearts before God before we step into the world. David begins the day by turning his attention toward God. He does not pretend that life is perfect. He knows there are enemies, difficulties, and uncertainties around him, but instead of allowing fear to control his morning, he chooses to seek God first. That is a powerful lesson for us. You may wake up today with something on your mind that immediately makes you anxious. Maybe it is a conversation you have to have. Maybe it is a decision you have been avoiding. Maybe you are waiting for an answer, a phone call, an opportunity, or a change that seems to be taking longer than you expected. Before you allow those thoughts to take control, bring them to God. Psalm 5 reminds us that God hears the voice of those who seek Him. It gives us the picture of beginning the morning with prayer and expectation. Not because we know exactly what will happen, but because we know where to place our trust. So this morning, say this in your heart. God, before I face this day, I give this day to you. Guide my decisions. Guard my heart. Keep me from choices that will take me away from your purpose. Give me wisdom when I do not know what to do. Give me patience when I want immediate answers. And help me walk through this day with confidence that you are with me. You do not need to know every detail of today. You only need to take the next step with God. Now let us move to Psalm 23. Psalm 23 is one of the most beloved passages in the Bible because it reminds us that we are not walking through life alone. The psalm presents God as a shepherd, and that picture is powerful because a shepherd does not simply point from a distance and tell the sheep where to go. The shepherd stays near, leads, protects, and provides. Think about what that means for your morning. You may not know what this day will bring. You may not know which door will open or which door will close. You may not know what conversation will happen or what unexpected situation may appear. But you can enter the day remembering that God sees what you cannot see. There may be moments today when you feel overwhelmed. Psalm 23 reminds you that God can lead you toward places of rest even when your mind feels restless. He can restore what has become exhausted inside you. He can guide you when your path feels uncertain. And notice something important. A shepherd does not promise that there will never be difficult valleys. The psalm acknowledges that valleys exist, but it also reminds us that God's presence is greater than the valley. So if you are entering a difficult season today, do not assume that difficulty means God has abandoned you. Sometimes you are walking through a valley while still being completely held by God. Say this prayer quietly. Lord, lead me today. When I am confused, guide me. When I am tired, strengthen me. When I am afraid, remind me that I am not alone. Help me trust your direction even when I cannot see the entire road ahead. Now take another slow breath. You are not required to solve your entire life this morning. You only need enough faith for the next step. The third psalm we need to remember is Psalm 46. Psalm 46 speaks directly to moments when everything around us feels unstable. It reminds us that God is a refuge and a source of strength. That message is especially important when life feels unpredictable. Maybe your circumstances have changed suddenly. Maybe something you trusted is no longer certain. Maybe you are worried about your family, your health, your finances, your relationships, or your future. Sometimes the hardest part is not the problem itself. It is the feeling that you have no control over what happens next. Psalm 46 reminds us that God does not change simply because our circumstances change. Your situation may change. People may change. Plans may change. But God remains your refuge. There is a powerful invitation in this psalm to become still and recognize God. That is difficult in a world that constantly tells us to hurry. We wake up and immediately reach for our phones. We read messages. We check the news. We compare our lives with other people. We start thinking about everything we need to accomplish. But before all of that, be still. Give God the first moments of your day. You can say, Lord, I cannot control everything that happens today, but I can choose where I place my trust. I choose you. Be my refuge when I feel overwhelmed. Be my strength when I feel weak. Help me remain peaceful even when circumstances around me are uncertain. And if you are listening to this right now while carrying a burden that nobody knows about, I want you to remember this. You do not have to be strong every second. You can bring your weakness to God. You can bring your questions to God. You can bring your tears to God. You can bring your uncertainty to God. He is not asking you to pretend that everything is fine. He is asking you to trust Him in the middle of what is not fine. Now we come to Psalm 121. This psalm is especially powerful for anyone who feels uncertain about the road ahead. It turns our attention away from the mountains of difficulty and toward the one who created them. There are moments when you look at your circumstances and think, how am I going to get through this? Psalm 121 gives your heart a different question. Who is watching over me? Who is with me when I cannot see what is coming? Who can protect me when I cannot protect myself from every possibility? The answer is God. This does not mean that nothing difficult will ever happen. It means you do not have to face difficulty believing that you are completely alone. God watches over your coming and going. God sees the places you are going today. God sees the conversations you have not had yet. God knows the opportunities you have not discovered yet. God knows the battles you are not even aware are coming. And because He knows, you can surrender the need to know everything. That is one of the hardest things for us to do. We want details. We want guarantees. We want to know exactly how everything will work out. But faith often means moving forward without having every answer. So before you begin your day, pray this. God, watch over me today. Watch over my family. Guide my steps and protect me from decisions that would bring unnecessary pain. Give me wisdom to recognize the right opportunities and courage to walk away from the wrong ones. When I cannot see what is ahead, help me trust the one who already sees it. And now we arrive at the fifth Psalm. Psalm 91. For generations, people have turned to Psalm 91 when they needed a reminder of God's protection, refuge, and presence. Its message is especially powerful when fear tries to dominate the mind. Fear can begin before the day even starts. You wake up and remember something you are worried about. You imagine the worst possible outcome. You replay something someone said. You think about what could go wrong. And suddenly, before your feet even touch the floor, your mind has already traveled through 100 problems that have not happened. But Psalm 91 calls us back to trust. It reminds us that God is a place of refuge. It points our hearts toward the security found in dwelling close to Him. So today, do not let fear write the story of your day before the day has even begun. You do not know what good thing may happen today. You do not know what unexpected blessing may be waiting. You do not know what answer may arrive. You do not know what door God may open. And you do not know how God may use even today's difficult moments to shape your future. So surrender the day. God, I place this new day in your hands. Be my refuge. Be my protection. Guard my heart from fear and my mind from constant worry. Help me walk wisely, love generously, forgive quickly, and recognize the blessings you place in front of me. When I feel afraid, remind me that I am not walking alone. And now, I want you to do something simple. Before this video ends, think of one thing you are carrying into this new day that you need to surrender to God. Maybe it is a person. Maybe it is a problem. Maybe it is a financial burden. Maybe it is a decision. Maybe it is something from your past. Maybe it is simply fear about what comes next. Name it silently in your heart, and then let it go. You may not see the answer immediately. You may not receive the solution today. But you can choose not to carry the burden alone. If this prayer spoke to your heart, comment below with the words, "God, I trust you with this day." And if you have a prayer request, you can share it in the comments. Someone watching this video may read your words, pray for you, and find encouragement because of what you shared. Also, if you know someone who needs peace this morning, send this video to them. Sometimes a simple message at the right moment can remind someone that they are not forgotten. As you begin this new day, remember the 5 Psalms we reflected on. Psalm 5 reminds you to seek God at the beginning of your day. Psalm 23 reminds you that God is your shepherd. Psalm 46 reminds you that God is your refuge and strength. Psalm 121 reminds you that God watches over your journey. And Psalm 91 reminds you to find refuge in His presence instead of allowing fear to control you. You may not know what today will bring, but you know who you can bring today to. So take one final breath. Release yesterday. Do not borrow tomorrow's worries. Receive this morning as a new opportunity. Walk with faith. Speak with kindness. Choose peace. And when something unexpected happens, pause before you panic and remember that God is still with you. May your mind be peaceful, your heart be strong, your steps be guided, and your home be filled with God's presence. May you have wisdom for every decision, courage for every challenge, patience for every delay, and gratitude for every blessing. And when this day comes to an end, may you be able to look back and say, I did not have all the answers, but God carried me through. Amen. If you are starting a new day with faith today, leave your comment below. God, I trust you with this day. And remember, tomorrow does not need to be carried today. For now, take this day one step at a time, keep your heart close to God, and walk forward knowing that you are never walking alone.